Good morning from Kingman, Arizona. I realize most part of this trip I have been really lucky with weather, except for those two rainstorms. Most of those days were sunny and nice, so I'm hoping that trend continues. Um, Nice thing about military and then a career in healthcare, I'm used to getting up real early in the morning so I can get together, get my car packed, get breakfast, get on the road before rush hour, beat that traffic. I'm hoping to make it out to California today. According to what I see, I'll be crossing into Needles, California. For those of you old enough to remember, in the comic strip Peanuts, Snoopy's brother Spike was from Needles, California. My gut tells me, from what I've seen on 64 so far, that town probably has not let that go, but we'll see when we get there. As long as we keep heading west, we're doing good. I will talk to you this evening. The continuing saga of, well, it seemed like a good idea at the time to make that right-hand turn. Yes, this is Lake Mead and the Hoover Dam. Looking up Lake Mead as it approaches the dam, you can see where that water level used to be and where it is today. These big old things are the inlet towers to let water in to drive the turbines to make electricity. Wow. It's just, the scale of this thing is amazing, and they poured all this and did all this, back in the 30s. This is the spot in the middle of the Colorado. To my right is Arizona, to my left is Nevada. A video from about the middle of the dam looking down to the Colorado River outlet side.
Sir, okay. Back to your car. Just out there. What's going on? Sorry? Thank you.
This is the other side. This is the Lake Mead side from the middle of the dam, hooking up. I don't know if this is going to get the color. Yeah, there's some of it. So you look down with the sun to where it is, you can see right along the white shore, white cliffs, you can see some color in the water. These monuments over here are been restored after all this time, and they will be put back into their proper places. Get a close-up of these monuments here. They are impressive. Wow. So the visitor center is a level lower than all this, which was a bit of a surprise. Okay, yes, when you come to the visitor center here, there is a security checkpoint. No, you don't have to take off your shoes. Okay, this is getting off of the elevator for the power plant tour. Inside tunnels. And heading into a diversion tunnel, they said. Okay, this is the pipe carrying water from Lake Mead down into the generator, down to the generators. And diagram of what we're looking at from Lake Mead on over.
All right, so of the power plant, I would like to direct your attention down the row to the generators. There are 8 that you see here on the Nevada
into the turbine section.
All right, everyone, keep on coming all the way into the
Looking like they're working on that
all
one.
the way in. You find yourself a good spot around the balcony. Please feel free to move around. If any of you need a drink of water,
Beautiful work inlaid into the floors here. Another one of the designs put into the floor down here in the power plant. We are out on the observation platform at the visitor center. Offers a magnificent view of the downstream side of the dam that you always see in the pictures. Worth noting, if you walk back across the dam on the Colorado River side, there is shade. On the Lake Mead side, there is none. And with the shade and the breeze coming through here, it's pretty comfortable. This is the area leading up to the spillway. Looks pretty parched. So that's where the water would spill over into this huge concrete trough. And looking down the other side of that spillway, that's where the water goes down into it goes down into the actual one of the original diversion tunnels. Parking your car in the shade, one of the best $10 I've spent all day here at the Hoover Dam. So driving up to the Hoover Dam is another one of those you start going across Arizona, from Kingman, pretty much flat, few hills, and then you kind of go up start going up, and then you come around a turn and it is just like you crossed into a different world. Beautiful rugged mountains, winding mountain roads. Again, it's another one of those experiences where the drive up here is just by itself is worth it. It's amazing. Just exercise caution, because like I say, twisting, turning, curving mountain roads, and they're blind most of those turns. So we headed back to Kingman. The visitor center will now be open. We can get the passport stamped and continue on to California. Don't ask me why, but just crazy stuff like this, I still love it, which is probably why I'm driving Route 66. Kingman, Arizona Visitor Center. This is where we get our passport stamped. There is a mural, the Kingman mural here. It's a bit more abstract than a lot of what I've seen, but you can see the sun coming up, viewing it through a canyon, so it's pretty nice. Kingman, Arizona is very heavily invested in its Route 66 identity, and there's more like this. The other water tower, right next to the first one, on the other side, has got this train mural on it. It is pretty nice. I had to backtrack to get this shot, but I just love signs like this. Places that let you know where you are. And guess what they have in Kingman? They've got an old steam locomotive that I can get on. Can't resist this. Before I get in it, look how all this all levers and mechanical linkages. These were pretty intricate machines. Okay, gonna try to shoot through the grate here. Not a whole lot of labels on stuff, is there? I've seen videos from groups that go around restoring these old locomotives to like operating condition and run them. Definitely had to know what the heck you were doing on these things. Okay, hey, we are heading through Arizona through the town. We are heading through Arizona through the town of Cool Springs. Kind of makes me think of the old radiator springs from Cars. My name is Miter, like Tuh Mater, but without the Tuh. So this is the infamous section that you've heard about on Route 66 with the winding road through the mountains, you know, the blind turns, the serpentine road, and I'm fixing to do it here. So this should be a hoot. I love the humor out here. This is right on old historic 66 going towards Oatman, just before the serpentine roads in the pass. I love that. So here we are in Cool Springs. Kind of is almost reminded me of the movie Cars, you know, Radiator Springs, but this is going to be the section of 66 one of them I will dream about. Dang, this is the real deal. No guardrails, barely 2 lanes wide, and twisting like a snake. I'm loving this. Yes, this really is 66, the original. Yes. We are officially at the pass. So, I'll tell you what, this road is a challenge. I loved it. It's like this thing was designed for Model Ts, and I don't think they've ever widened it. But coming out the other side, this was so worth it. You know, they say if you want to taste the fruit of the tree, you got to go out on the limb. Made it through that section of amazingly challenging road. We are now in Oatman, Arizona. And just like that road, I don't think there's changed a whole lot since the 1920s. You want real old style Americana? The little town of Oatman, Arizona. That sign pretty much says it all. 191 curves in 8 miles. The Arizona Sidewinder. And I done it. All right. Like I find most things on 66, when I got through into Kingman to the information center, lady there said, oh, when you get to Oatman, you might want to stop and pet the burros if you see them. And I didn't see anything in Oatman that looked like, you know, a petting zoo, but just coming out of it, I thought these two were statues till I saw this other fella stop, and they moved. So these are real burros here. And down the road a couple of miles, you know, they've got like the deer crossing signs. In some places, you know, deer next 8 miles. They have one with a picture of a burro on it. And now I'm just looking here, it's like, yeah. And I was told that Arizona is a free-range state, so animals can wander across your highways. They take steps to try to prevent it, but, you know, they're animals. They're going to do what they want. And as I'm getting ready to leave from petting the burros, I look down the road and there's a family of burros. Oh, they are adorable. Baby burro. I had to stop and get some pictures of these. I have no idea what they are. I'm guessing some kind of cactus, but this whole section of 66, the road is just lined with them. And they are pretty. In Needles, California now. Officially in California at the Wagon Wheel restaurant. It's going to be a really good twofer. Going to get my passport stamped and I'm going to get some dinner. Yep, my luck is holding. This is the inside of the Wagon Wheel. And there's just something about all these places I've been to. You know, common theme of Route 66, but you know, it's just wonderful. Okay, this is the official t-shirt of the staff here at the Wagon Wheel, but it's a dry heat, Needles, California. You gotta love it. That's why I come to places like this. Wow, what a day it has been, a day and a half. I woke up real nice and early this morning, got all my stuff together, had breakfast. The visitor center in Kingman didn't open until 9, so I had some time to kill. So, you know, seeing as the idea made sense at the time, I said, I'm close, let's shoot up to the Hoover Dam and look at that while I'm waiting for this place to open. So, went up to the Hoover Dam. That is, you know, driving across these states is just, it's worth it just for the scenery. So about the first half of it is just what you would expect, you know, Arizona desert, flat, you know, and then you kind of go uphill a little bit and you just kind of come around a turn and you see you're in the mountains, and like you're in the mountains with the, you know, 7% grade, trucks use low gear, twisting and turning, so not real severe twisting and turning, but those winding mountain highways. So followed that, made it to the Hoover Dam. That road up to the Hoover Dam is another one of those 225, and have the radio off and pay attention while you're doing that. The Hoover Dam parking, yeah, it is to pay to park, and make sure you park your car in the shade. That's all I'm going to say. It's hot. Wow, it's 60 degrees in the morning. That's gone now. We're talking, you know, it got up to 100 and my car was showing 101 today driving here. So saw the Hoover Dam. It's amazing. You know, you look on the Lake Mead side, you can see how low the water is, and they tell me it's come up about 10 feet. You know, so far this year, but it is still really low. And just the scale of this thing, it is huge. You walk over on the Colorado River side and you look down and you just kind of feel that dizzy feeling. It's that big. They've got museums and stuff. We've found the visitor center and prepare to be checked when you go through there. I did the power plant tour, you know, where they take you down in an elevator. You walk through some, you know, stone tunnel, some tunnels cut through the stone into where they've got the turbines, you know, the turbine generators with the water going through them. That's pretty amazing. You know, between the Hoover Dam and the windmill farms, I'm thinking, yeah, we have options for electricity these days. So, what was amazing, came back up, there's an observation deck. Well, there's a, you know, little display about how they built it and all that. Really interesting. I found out why it was called the Hoover Dam. I'm thinking, why do you name that something like that after the president that caused the Great Depression? Because it was named after him for what he did when he was with the Department of the Interior. Couldn't get the 7 states to agree to anything about water distribution, to put into a compact to go ahead and build the dam and get it through Congress. So they came up with the idea is, we'll build the dam and you guys get together and decide what you want to do with the water after, and put it to the states. So that's why it was named after him. From there, went back to Kingman, got my passport stamped, found a couple of other really interesting sites I got some video on. They have an old steam locomotive there that you can go up on. You know, there's a barrier, you know, like a cage, so you can't actually get up into touch anything in the engine. but you can still look, and you're looking at this thing, and you're like, wow, it's like nothing's labeled. You got to kind of know what you're doing, and it's like really different. Got back on old 66 and headed towards that section called the Sidewinder, which is an original stretch of 66 that's like built along, I'm guessing, a mule path, a goat path, through the mountain there. And it's now called the Sidewinder. There's like 191 sharp, like hairpin, do this at 10-mile-an-hour curves, and don't look down while you're doing it. No guardrails. It's they say it's 2 lanes if you're driving Model A's, but yeah, I would hate to be in, like, if 2 F-150s are both on there, at the same time, going opposite directions. Made it down into this little town called Oatman, which is adorable. It's like still all old-timey, mining era in the 1800s. It's a tourism type place now. When I was at Kingman, the lady at the visitor center said, "Oh, get through Oatman, stop and pet the burros." Cool. I don't see any burros there. Okay, but I still look around. Driving out of town, maybe not even a half mile outside of the main, past the actual main street, I see 2 burros standing on the side of the road. I thought they were statues. I thought, oh, maybe that's the place. Pull over, and one of the burros moves. They're just kind of standing there. It's like waiting for somebody to pet them. So, petting those, they're really cute. And as I'm doing that, 3 more come up. Mom, dad, and a baby. It was just adorable. After that, went down the road to cross over the California state line. And it's, again, just miles, another 25 miles just through the desert, just abandoned highway. It's like it's like I had 1 car pass me the other direction that whole stretch. Got into Needles, California. Found the restaurant called the Wagon Wheel to get my passport stamped. Had dinner there. It was amazing. I'm batting 1,000 so far with what I wanted to find for Route 66 American food. Old school homemade pies. Most amazing blueberry pie I've ever had. So now I'm going to work on this video for y'all and get a good night's sleep, and I will catch up with you in the morning and figure out what we're going to do.